tonight we have our friends in here. Do you want to introduce? She's your friend.
This is
soon to be our
Sydney.
friend.
She is Gorge, and she is actually just real estate.
Yeah,
she's in real estate. She just got her license. It's gonna be awesome. Yeah. I'm so excited for you.
Yeah.
And we have Carolyn. She's been one of my best friends since college. Probably a bad influence on me, but I still love her.
True.
That's true. That's true.
Not anymore.
That's true. And I'm Pegasus Shares.
No.
Follow me on IG.
Yeah.
Follow the Pool House on IG too,
Yes.
actually. Poolhouse_ladies.
I am Danielle Middleton, the stylist, and my IG is Freckles1228. And yes, please follow Pool House Ladies on IG.
Nidra Stone. Ooh. Nidra Stone. IG's Nidra Stone. Yeah, me. I do a lot of different stuff. I hustle. That's what I do. But I'm an actress and a podcaster. And follow us on, I need to hear this again.
Poolhouse_ladies. Let's all say it together.
Yes.
Anyone in here have a block or smash that ass?
Oh, I have a good one.
Okay, Danielle.
Danielle.
My question is,
Should I block that ass?
block that ass.
Block that ass.
Block that ass. Block that ass.
Block that ass.
Or smash that ass?
It's time to get it popping.
Okay, so I pursued this guy. So I see him somewhere, and I'm like, oof, right? And he's coming at me. I'm going back at him, but we part ways. So I take his license plate. I realize it's a local, what is it? Not a dealership. Auto body shop, okay?
Oh, okay.
So I called him, and I'm like, hey, if I describe this car to you, can you tell me who the owner is? And they were like, long story short, I give them the car. They give my number to the owner. He contacts me. It's this cute little fairy tale, you know. And then I have his name, and then I find his Instagram, and he has a kid. So I haven't responded since then, and I don't know what to do.
How old are you?
I'm 24, and he's 29, and he has like a 2 or 3 year old kid. I don't know, but I know it's a small kid. I've dated a guy with a kid before, and I said I wouldn't do it again. So
She wants her own kids.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, yeah. Honestly, when I did not have kids, I didn't want to date anybody that had kids.
Okay.
So, like, if that's really your line in the sand, at this point that you're at, because now I have a daughter, but at this point that you're at, if you feel like that's going to be, like, your line in the sand, then block it. But if you're, like, wavering on it.
Even after all that I did.
I know.
Something brought me to
She gave
pursue
such a
him.
short story. I mean,
I know.
it reasonably so, but she
What's
chased
the
this
reason
man.
why you were pursuing him?
I don't know.
She first hid from him at the DMV.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then she realized, no, wait a minute, I probably should get his number. And she
Yeah.
follows him. They're following each other. They're not. Then they lose. But she's perceptive. And she remembered his license plate. It was a new
Yeah.
car. So
Yeah.
she called the dealership, like, do you know this car? And it's such a different car.
Yeah.
What was it?
It was a Bentley Continental. It
Yeah.
was like a matte white. So it was like I could specify.
Different.
Yeah, it was different.
So they were like, yep.
And
when
off
she
top,
called.
he's all, oh yeah, we know him. Why? What's up? I'm like, can you just pass my info along? They were pressing me. Why? Who are you?
Right.
And I was like, no, I mean, look, I'm in real estate. I heard him talking about real estate. That was
Your
part of it,
cover-up.
but it was my cover.
Right.
And I was like,
I got
look, he can choose to call me or not. What should I do? And then he called me like 45 minutes later. Instantly, we connected. He was like, hey, look, you went out of your way to like pursue me. I want to be a gentleman and introduce myself to you. So he met up with me within like 2 hours of this whole thing. It was a whole day with this guy.
Oh, see, this is like
And it was a
different.
Exactly. I had to give a little bit more.
Yeah.
And right off top, he was like, do you believe in energy? And I was like, yeah, why? And he was like, because this is crazy. Like, this is crazy, and I feel like I've known you forever, and you went out of your way to do this for what? And I was like, I don't know. I really don't. But no, and then I went again out of my way to go through his Instagram and see that
That's
he has a
not
kid.
going out of your way.
I mean, but to see that he has a
To
kid.
you, it's not.
That's
Miss
not going
PI
out
on
of
the
your way.
side.
And so I didn't respond for 2 days, and very maturely he texted me yesterday, the day before, and he was like, hey, if life has you busy, like, I hope we meet again if it's meant to be. And that's where he kind of left it.
Because she left him dry.
Yeah.
It was.
Right.
It was. I like
so
this
nice.
guy, but
Do you not want kids because
I don't want a broken family like that. I really don't. Like, I don't want my future. Like, okay, let's say him and I, it works out. We have kids. I don't want my kids to know a half brother or sister. I don't. I had that, so I don't want that for my own kids.
Well, if you don't want that, then don't talk to him, because like it is resonating with you because of your history.
Yeah.
And so if you knew that like you do not want that, for example, like after me, I have two younger sisters. My mom became a stay-at-home mom, so like I knew I didn't want that because like she felt like she lost her identity. Like she wasn't, after we went to college and we're out the house, she was like, okay, well, what do I do? You know, like her job was like, she didn't want to retire. She still wanted to do things. So it's like, I knew I didn't want that. And if you know for sure, like, this is not what I want, I grew up like this, then I think you should not pursue him.
Yeah.
Because what's going to happen is I feel like, even if you have like this strong connection, and you feel like, you know what, like, just F it, like, it's still going to bug you.
Yeah.
Like, later. And so, like, why keep getting deeper into a relationship just to, like, break it off later?
No,
because
that's
you
fair.
know that.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. So this is.
But it's like, I don't know if you should tell him.
That's my issue too. That's why I haven't
I
responded.
would want you to tell him because, like you should be honest. But then it's like, I don't know,
even
men have
approach that.
feelings too.
They do.
yeah.
Yeah. So
I
it's
feel
like,
like if she tells him though, don't you think he's gonna be like, come on, it's just I mean,
Or he might just be
My-
like,
no.
my ex has
But if
her
she
like
might be like-
90% of the time.
No.
You know, I'm pretty much, you know.
when you
it's
have a
just
child
part-time.
though, that could be hurtful. So he might be like, fine. Beep.
Yeah, because like, yeah, if
Possibly.
someone says
It
like
depends.
they're not gonna date me because of Zoe, I'm just like, then you were not meant to date.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So that's just like really because we
Yeah.
are a package deal.
That's true.
So it's, I can't just be like, deuces, oh, you gotta go chill with your dad for a while till mommy is
so I can get
done.
laid.
Yeah, so mommy's done being in love now. Come back and get you. Like, it's just not the way that it works.
So is this a block?
This is
Just
a block.
he said.
Sounds like a block.
This is a block.
Yeah. So I think it's the only option. I
Yeah.
have.
She didn't
Alright.
even get to smash one time.
Not even once.
What do you all consider cheating? Write
That's
it down
such a
on the
good
board.
question.
Consider cheating.
What do you consider cheating? Be as specific as you can.
I'm not gonna do it. It's gonna take too long.
And okay.
I'm gonna write 2 words.
Uh,
Cause I ain't got
I
time.
don't even know how to spell this word.
Nidra.
I know.
Now you got me thinking if I wrote this too fast, I can't spell either.
I do have one question to clarify. So we have one married and 2 kids? 2 baby mamas?
Yes.
Ba-
I'm not a
kid-
baby
kid.
mama.
I'm not married.
No,
You're
no.
not
So,
married.
Oh, you know.
No,
right, but even outside
Carolyn's
of marriage, I
married.
consider a woman with a baby
Baby
mama.
mama.
Yeah, 'cause
Oh,
she's
got
your
it.
baby's mama.
You a
So we
baby
have-
mama, Danielle.
So married, and are you married?
No.
No, okay, all right. So we have one married.
One married, 2 mamas, baby
Two
mamas,
mamas.
according to you,
Mamas.
and then
Yes.
2 singletons.
Yes.
Single.
So are you 2 taken?
Mm-hmm.
I am free as a bird. It's sexually 1 L or 2 L's.
Oh my
Sexually.
god.
Gee. Okay. I think I'm
Okay.
done.
Should we just hold them up and
Yeah.
then we'll go around and explain?
Yes.
Ooh.
Mine says emotional thoughts sexually with someone else. And that can just be so extreme. So just basically, you have emotionally chosen to think about someone else in a sexually attractive type of way. It could be mental or physical. And it wasn't me.
You've emotionally chosen to think about someone in a sexually attractive
I was
way.
like
Yes,
lost after that.
And it wasn't me. What does that
Right.
mean?
I don't know. Can we go around the
Emotionally
table
chosen.
and then come back to me? Because that's a lot.
Yeah,
you
let's
can't
come back.
always know
Let's
his
double
thoughts,
back to her.
So how can you tell then if it's just thoughts?
That is a good question.
What'd you put, Carolyn?
I put anything you have to keep secret. So if if my husband was hanging out with another woman or something, it wouldn't necessarily bother me. But if
What
he
if-
was keeping it secret or not telling me, like he had a coworker that he was spending a lot of time with and just didn't tell me, then I would feel really betrayed or I would look into that. Yeah.
So I'm gonna piggyback off Nidra. Mine says emotional connection and or physical interaction. So for me, If you're in a relationship or if you feel love towards someone, but you're speaking to someone else on an emotional level, whether you're talking about any sort of deep connection where you're constantly keeping up with each other. Okay, you talk Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, you skip Thursday, then you talk Friday. That's an emotional connection. You're relying on talking to that person. That to me is cheating. And then physical interaction is a little bit obvious, but yeah, anything that goes outside of a relationship. Where if your man was looking at you, watching you do this to another man, he would feel some type of way about it. So that could be, just too long of a hug, honestly. That could be any sort of too tight of a hug.
What?
Yeah.
That's cheating?
I mean, that to me goes back to that emotional,
What?
I feel some sort of skip a heartbeat over that.
Huh.
There are different levels to cheating, though. You know,
Yeah.
it's not just sex automatically. Like there's emotional intimacy. There are other ways.
The build-ups to it, yeah. It doesn't just skip right to one thing. But
Yeah.
that lingering thought of someone else, to me, is the same emotional connection. Yeah.
Interesting.
I put sexual and emotional. So sexually, cheating, and then just emotional if you have an emotional connection with someone, but without the sex.
But you can have an emotional connection with a lot of different people. Because don't you pretty much have an emotional connection with all your friends?
Yeah, but romantically.
A romantic emotional connection. Okay. Is that it?
Yes.
I put sneaking and withholding. So basically, sneaking, like you're sneaking around behind my back doing something that you feel like, not like something like, oh, I totally forgot to tell you this,
Yeah.
because that happens. But like, I'm purposely withholding this information from you. And then the withholding part is like, you're withholding parts of yourself, you're keeping parts of yourself from me to give to this other person, or just because you're not as in our relationship as you used to be, or something
Yeah.
like that. I can imagine that cuts deep.
Yeah.
Yeah, but all of our definitions are like, we're using all of these like
Vague
terms. I feel like, yeah.
because it's individual. When you think about it, it's individual. Our level of tolerance is different.
But it's all deep-rooted to the same two things. Emotional and physical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But which one really is it? But I feel like as people, like, we have so much pride, and like, really when it comes down to it, as a woman, most women care more about the emotional side of it than they do about the physical. So I feel like if it wasn't about like the public, a lot of the time, like when you hear about a cheating scandal, let's just say like the Kevin Hart cheating scandal that happened hella long ago, but now he has this like docu-series on Netflix, so it's like
I love
resurfacing
it.
again.
It's so cute.
It's pretty good. Like he cheated on his pregnant wife, which we've argued about.
This.
Yeah.
Yes.
She was talking about how the wife that he cheated on while she was pregnant was talking about how she was embarrassed about it. She was publicly humiliated. That's what she was focused on. Not you hurt me. It was more so you humiliated me, because we're public personas. So like I feel like as a woman, that's more so what it is. Maybe as a man too. It's more so the emotional component of it versus the physical. So if it didn't, if like, I don't know, what do you think? I'm going to shut up.
Well, I didn't get that from that actually.
Yeah.
I mean, I got that that's what she said, but her tears and her emotion behind it showed it was more than that. It was, I think, especially when you're in the limelight, you have to be tough. You have to be tough. And so instead of her just saying it broke me, like, I can't believe he'd do that to me. It's easier to say,
He really hurt me.
because he embarrassed me, or because I mean, a lot of people will identify with that, men and women. But if you're just like, oh God, it hurt, I can't believe he'd do that to me, and you look like you don't got it together, and you look a little crazy, and yeah, it hurt, but dude, are you serious? Like, you'd be judged in a different light.
But
I think.
I can bring those two together. So I've been on both sides of that, where I'm nobody. I'm not a celebrity, but for me to be introduced to this guy's friends and family and be his woman, and then have him go outside of that relationship and bring another woman to those same friends and family. And for me to recognize that these people that are important to him and he's important to these people are now seeing him with me, who he said all these things about and been in a serious relationship with, and then he's with someone who he's not that serious with, it makes me look like a fool. It makes me look like a fool because I took him that serious.
Or is it
no? But I think it's the reality of the whole situation, because even when you're talking about like the physical aspect of it, you know, at home in private, like you said, because you are in the eye in a certain way. At home in private, you're in a place of like self-doubt, and you're comparing yourself to this other person, and what did I not have that he had to go find in somebody else, and then it brings it publicly too, where then people have to look at these two females with the same dude, and they're questioning the same thing, and it's just a whole like, I mean, I don't know, it just brings, I think it's every element.
Yeah.
No, I agree with that, because I feel like you can feel betrayed and you can also feel embarrassed, because you can bring someone to meet like all your friends and your family and talk about how great of a guy he is, or whoever you're dating, or girl, and then turn around and be like, oh, well, it actually didn't work out because it can be embarrassing. You can be embarrassed and betrayed. I don't think it has to be one or the other. I think you could have a mix of emotions.
Yeah. I think you do have a mix of emotions when you're cheated on and cheating.
See, that's something no one talks about.
What?
No females talk about that. Like, we act like we're above it all. But I mean, females cheat too.
Oh, definitely.
Why is it only the men that are, like, I don't know.
Because I think we're better at it.
Much better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's probably more
We don't
emotional.
get caught as much.
No, we get emotional.
No, but it's an emotional cheating.
Affair.
Oh,
That's what I mean.
yeah.
I mean, like, it's more probably an emotional affair, where it starts that way and then it evolves. Whereas I think I don't know this as a fact. This may not be
But it kind of makes sense, though.
a fact. But yeah, I feel like with men it's probably more physical, whereas women it's more emotional, and so
I
it's
think
harder
that's
to.
truth.
But I think with some men it could be emotional too, because then you're if you're cheating on the same person, you end up having an emotional connection with that
Cheating
person.
with the same person?
Yeah.
Like repetitively?
Like, say, like, because I'm saying some men cheat and just sleep with
Multiple.
a whole bunch of
Oh,
multiple. Like, I'm saying some men cheat and go to the same one. as
There's,
that.
But that doesn't necessarily have to be emotional. It could still just be a booty
Great
call,
sex.
right? Yeah, it could be. You know, she could not be able to read, and he just goes to her for that. So,
But I feel like that's a stereotype.
what is?
But
I
For
think that's
men
a
or-
stereotype that men cheat just for the physical, for sex.
No, I just think they're more likely to.
Why do you say that, though?
They're made different. They are. I mean, I have a lot of male friends, and they definitely don't look at things like we do. They're kind of like, I'll hit that. Oh yeah, I'll hit that. But they would never, like, I have more than a few friends who will cheat on their wives and girlfriends, mostly girlfriends, sorry. And they don't really see anything wrong with it, because they feel like they're not emotionally attached, or they feel like they're not jeopardizing their home situation, because they won't do it. They won't ever put a ring on that. They won't ever treat her like wifey. They won't ever do the things that they do for their girlfriend. So they're
So they're
literally
using her.
just having sex.
It's a warm body.
I've heard that. Yeah.
So then why do women cheat?
I think
I
we're
think
more
it's
complex.
No,
I think we're more complex. I think it's either or. It's like, what if we love a guy we're with, but he sucks in bed? Or what if we have a great guy in bed, but we don't really love him? I think we look for different things.
I think it's emotional for both.
Really?
I think so. Unless
Majority
you're
of the
just a
time?
dog.
I
Like,
think it could be a multiple things depending on where you're at in your life.
Yeah.
and who you are.
Or like feeling ignored and wanting more attention. Your
Yeah.
husband or your boyfriend or whatever isn't giving it to you,
Right.
and so you seek it elsewhere, or you just
Okay.
find it elsewhere, like with a coworker or something.
I would.
But all of us here agree that cheating is wrong.
Well, duh.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what it's called cheating.
Cheating is
Okay.
wrong, because I feel like, why can't you? Well, there's different levels.
But I have a question to pose. Let's just say your good friend comes to you and she's in a abusive relationship. and like emotionally abusive relationship, and it's just messed up. She's deep in that relationship, and like they've got assets together, they're tied together, maybe they're married, and it's really difficult for her to leave him. And she meets this guy who finally, after so many years of being with this abusive man, makes her feel good about herself again. And she sleeps with him and starts talking to him every day. What do you think? What do you say to that friend?
Then I feel like cheating is right in that situation.
I will say I will never judge anyone for cheating. Everyone's situation is their own. I'll listen to any friend who needs to talk about it. I might not get emotionally involved. You know, like let's say I'm friends with her and her husband. Mm-hmm. I may pull back a little bit in that sense, but that's her situation. I'm not one to call her out. Mm-hmm.
I have a little bit of a different perspective. Well, I think I can understand that situation. I can understand how like it's abusive. You found someone who treats you right, but I still feel like you should find a way to safely pull out of the marriage first, then pursue it.
That would be best.
Yeah,
I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying that it's as simple as that. Like if it's physically or emotionally or life's in danger, that's totally different. But I feel like cheating also doesn't help your situation, and so I think first and foremost you get out of it and then you do it.
Yeah, that would definitely be best case scenario.
Right. I know it's not as simple. It's not always black and white, but that's what I would recommend if a friend came to me first.
I don't know. Sometimes women need a push to leave that person. For some reason, we try to hold on, and we're so faithful and we're so dedicated and loyal that we accept so much.
BS.
And then we'll have a different guy come in and say, I got you. And we'll still be like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Why don't you know? Go. And that is speaking from someone who is single and not married. And I'm not saying that to married people. Married, if it was a married friend, I'd come a little bit different, agreeing with you. But if they're single and they're just stuck on a guy, no, keep it moving. There are so many other men in the world.
Yeah, but the bottom line in that situation is that your friend is cheating.
Technically, regardless, she's cheating.
But
Yes.
we just all agreed that cheating is wrong. So why, my question is like, why do we look at, we allow women so much leeway when it comes to like their wrongdoings in relationships with cheating. Like we're more okay with women cheating because it's more, we say, oh, it's emotional. He must have been emotionally abusive. He must have done this. He must not pay attention to her. He must be working too hard and not, she's at home alone all the time with the kids. I understand. But when it comes to men, like we automatically just like point the finger and we're just like, that's messed
That's
up.
true.
You're a dog. You're just using that woman.
I think it's the opposite. I think women actually, I see it differently. I just think that women get more criticism for anything they do, period. But with men, I think you just expect it more. Like if a guy sleeps with a nanny, I think even though it's bad, they assume the wife's not doing something. I actually see it totally oppositely. But if a woman's cheating, I think they just assume the woman's a slut or she's a whore.
Yeah.
That's what I immediately see. I see that like no matter what happens, it's always the woman's fault, whether the guy cheats or she cheats.
Why can't a man be a slut when he cheats?
Oh, he's a slut too.
Yes, but nobody will say it.
No, but he's the man.
No, I don't call the man.
No, we don't.
Oh,
but
okay.
dudes do.
Like they don't
Yeah.
get like
We just
slut shamed or whatever.
They
like
do.
women do.
I feel
Not
they
by
do.
their- Not by their
Depend-
boys.
Not by their boys.
Like,
'Cause when
Not
you're-
by their boys.
When you're
no.
asking, like, why don't we call out our friends? Why do we turn the other cheek to our girlfriends who are cheating? Yeah, no, guys, homies, they don't call them out for that. That's
they be like,
definitely
why did you cheat? Oh, dog. Okay,
not even.
cool.
It's not even a
No,
question.
that's true.
Yeah.
That's
Not even.
They be like,
You the man. It's a flavor of the week over
damn,
here.
you got caught. You got caught. Dang, you stupid.
Right.
Yeah.
I can't. But I just had a conditioning moment when I was listening to all of you. When I first said, it's kind of this like little revelation in my head. When I first said, if my homegirl is cheating on her husband and I'm friends with them both, I'm gonna pull back. Is that because that happened to me? Is that because I was friends with? That's a conditioning moment I'm wondering about. Is that because they did that to me when they saw me in my cheating situation? I was not the cheater, but they didn't tell me.
It's probably a
Yeah.
relatable.
I think that was a conditioning moment because they didn't come and tell me; they pulled back.
Ooh.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So that was kind of a weird.
That brings up a good question because you
Afterthought.
never think about that. So if you're being cheated on and your friend doesn't tell
And they
you,
knew. And they knew.
and they knew,
Mutual
Then we're
friend
not
knew.
really friends.
they would be gone.
Yeah.
you think
Yeah.
so?
Friend
But like,
knew.
what if they don't? I mean, I could see how some people don't want to get involved in that.
And that's the excuse I gave them, which is why I'm where I'm at right now, in the conditioning moment. Because I put myself in their position and I was like, that's messy. I'm sure they didn't want, you know, like, and they knew that eventually I would figure it out. So, okay, it's not like it was totally a secret. I don't know. It's a good question.
That's such a
No, I'm telling
weird
you.
position because okay, so
What if your friend doesn't believe you? Sorry, Nidra.
no,
No,
yes.
yes.
What if
Which has
Danielle?
happened.
but I'm
What if you
telling
come
you.
to me and you're like, Pega,
Because I
your
want
man,
them to
I
tell
saw
me.
your man
But
walking
you're
out
chilling
of Red
because
Lobster.
then you made a choice. You judged and you made a choice. Like that's my homegirl. He's not. That's
Yeah.
my homegirl.
You
so
took
I'm
her to get
telling her.
some biscuits at Red Lobster without me.
Right, girl. They were slopping it up. Slopping the
And
whole
what if,
biscuit.
what if like I don't
that's
know.
fine.
What if
But the information is given. I'm giving the information, but whatever
do
you,
with it.
yes, you
Whatever
choose
you
to do
choose.
it. That doesn't mean like I feel it doesn't mean like our relationship is gonna be. Well, it would may be different because you probably gonna tell your man Danielle told me, but
They always do.
right. But I'm saying it should be different for us because like you know how loyal I am. I'm not a messy friend, but if I see that you're doing my homegirl wrong, like I'm gonna tell you.
Right.
I even tell like, well, you know, my best friend, like it's a guy. I tell him when he's being messy. I'm like, no, you're doing too much, and he'll go like, I was with you last night. I'm like, why? Why were you with me last night? He's like, if anybody asks me, like, no, you need to tell me because you're being messy.
Oh my
So I just
God.
think like if you're really someone's friend, and I kind of just had this conversation just to get off topic, but I'm really serious about like my friends because I feel like they become like my family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if I see my sister's man cheating, I'm calling her like Raymond or Kirsten, like let me tell you where so and so was.
Right.
So because I want the same, I want you to be the same friend, sister to me.
I have learned. Okay, you gotta be I got my crew for sure. Totally. But my crew wouldn't even, like, they're all pretty smart. They ain't gonna be with somebody. But if they are, I will tell them. But outside of my crew, but then you have, you know how you have your level of friends. My second crew, or my next level, beyond that, I have chosen at this point, by experience, to not say nothing. I don't get
can say
involved.
that.
I don't, because I've lost a couple good friends from
getting
being
involved.
honest, because they weren't on that level. They weren't able to walk away. They kept the guy and was like, "Oh, forget you."
Right.
The guy ends up. They find out the truth later.
Right.
But
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 by
now
then
our
you're-
friendship is tainted. So I don't even want to be friends with you.
Do they
anymore.
not believe you?
Oh,
I don't think it's a belief thing.
yeah. It's just I can't.
I can't
Do it.
handle
I
it.
can't
I
let
can't
them
handle
go.
the
I
truth.
can't deal with it. I don't know what
I
it
never
is.
think it's a belief thing because
They
like,
know.
yeah,
They knew before you said something.
Yes.
Yeah.
But back to your girl being the one who's cheating. Are you gonna call her out on that?
Yes.
Okay.
I call my girls out on, but
No. No,
my
you
girls
wouldn't, Nidra.
aren't typically cheaters. I will, Pega.
Nidra.
He's a nice guy. Why
Nidra.
are you doing that to him?
Nidra.
I do
but
that.
He's abusive.
That's
He's
different.
mentally abusive.
Abusive. You ain't even supposed to be with him.
Right.
Period.
At all.
But then you're like cheating. Yay! You went from
Well,
cheating.
no,
good.
to-
Fall in love.
We
and
got
distract
different
yourself.
situations. That's different though. That if you're being abused, that's a personal, emotional thing that you have to deal with. And I would try to help my friend with that. I wouldn't be telling her to go and find another guy to get her mind off of that. That's serious.
That is.
I grew up in a household like that, so that's serious. I know how much emotion and damage it does and what it involves. But I'm just talking about a regular girl who horny, a regular guy who horny, whatever, and they're cheating. And sometimes though, like the guys are taking advantage of the situation or the girl. And when the other person cheats, or when my friend cheats and her guy's taking advantage of her, I will promote cheating. So
Promote
Promote
Nidra
Again,
promotes cheating.
Hurt the
cheating.
guy who's doing
I
that?
just
Is
want
that
them to
why?
leave him and do better. If you're married 15 years, 10 years, things can happen. Life happens. You can cheat. I don't believe in divorce. When you marry me, you're stuck. You're stuck. We have to work through everything and anything. That's why marriage is so beautiful.
So if someone cheats in marriage, you'll forgive him because you're stuck.
If they do the work. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
They
I'm
have
so
to do
most
the work.
Carolyn's
Most
married.
relationships
not
actually
pre.
survive one affair.
They
Right.
should.
One affair.
Right.
They survive one. Yeah.
If you
No.
get married
You
for the
can
right
leave
reasons.
after. Yeah, if you get married for the right reasons, most relationships can survive
Yes.
one affair.
Right.
If both people work at it.
So that's what I'm saying about, like, I think it's about saving face for us. We're just like, we have to like make noise about it and make this like big thing because we're embarrassed. We're trying to save face, but at the end of the day, Beyonce stayed with Jay-Z.
No, and I totally
Yeah.
salute that. Like but that's where I'm opposite to your position with marriage and how
You're
you
more
can
stern
work.
about it.
Yeah.
I'm the opposite. For me, in a relationship prior to marriage, I believe in surviving an affair. And actually, when it comes to publicity and it being in the eye and the family and the friends and everything, to me, there's almost like you can catch yourself and you can work together through that affair and actually show up and be like, we decided to stay together, Beyonce and Jay-Z. And look, we're powerful and now we're unstoppable. But marriage, if you have the audacity to stand in front of a priest and say, all those things like to the Bible and then you cheat, no,
I get that too.
that's
understand
a done for me.
But
That's a done for me.
cheating happens. Cheating's been
In a
happening.
marriage, to me, is
does.
just different.
But it's like,
Yes, it does happen. Doesn't mean that it's acceptable.
Right,
And that's
yeah.
okay.
But they're-
Like murder happens too. It's still
that's a good point.
No, it's not even
No,
the point. It's just
I
like
actually-
we are
Yeah.
talking about wrong
That's touche.
and wrong.
Touche.
Yeah.
So
Touche.
it's not like one more sin is like a higher point level between the other sin. Like,
Right.
and so I believe whether in your relationship, in your dating, in your relationship, you're married, if you're both agreeing to like date each other, because like of course I'm dating to get married, and yes, I've had a couple of boyfriends. They all haven't worked out, but I'm saying like, why am I holding all of these things like? And then like saying like you cheated, I probably will take you back. Like before, I thought I wasn't going
If you
to.
have
Right.
Yeah, like before I thought like I am not, like cheating is my line, kind of like how babies are hers. Like I was like I'm not taking back. But then when it happened to me, I was like, okay, like maybe he's gonna do the work.
Right.
Maybe we could like stick through this or whatever. And then if we get married, like I know like you're not gonna cheat again, because then if you do, then I am done. Because like she was saying, like we already been through this, so it's like, why are you doing it again? Like I told you I was leaving, like you cheat on me again, like I'm done.
Well, then it's a pattern. If it's
Yeah.
more than once, then it's a
It's a
pattern.
pattern.
But it's also, it's not always black and white. And I feel like once two people, if they decide to work it out and really talk, because just because somebody gets away, or just because they make things right afterwards, doesn't mean that things are always okay.
No.
Like from people that I know and people who have been in marriages, like I had a boyfriend, obviously before my husband, whose parents, his dad cheated on his mom multiple times, and she stayed with him, and then it stopped like 10 years before I met him. But their relationship, they stayed together and they keep working on it, but they're not like they were.
Right.
Like they still, it's not like he just gets away with it and it's done and she gets over it. Like it's still, it's like a long process.
Yeah.
So it's, and they still like occasionally like would, he would sleep on the couch over things like that. Like they would come up again. So it's not like it's just, he cheated, he said
It's
sorry
done,
and it's
right.
done.
Yeah.
Because people really do, and like men, well, the men that I've been with that cheated, really feel like once you work through it, then like we shouldn't be talking about it again.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, no, I'm gonna
a
get upset. Or
process.
it's like when Dr. Shannon came on, I know this is like crazy, but she was like, you have like PTSD, because like then I wouldn't let him have his phone down. Like he couldn't have his phone down no more, because every time I had his phone down,
Brought
I was
you
like,
back.
yes,
Yeah.
like it brought me back. Or it's like, you didn't call me, you didn't answer my
Right.
text. So it's like, it's kind of like those things remind you. So then you get upset again, and then you're going to have continuous conversations. And it could be like we can not have argument for 3 years, and then like the 4th year I bring it up because like something reminded me, or you didn't tell me about this new girl that I now see texting your phone. Who is this? So I think like what she was saying is like true. It's like you don't forgive that person. I mean, you do forgive, but you don't forget.
Right. Yeah.
So,
Right.
Yeah.
You have to rebuild the trust.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm going to be honest. I am not a good person to stay with after they cheat. It's not my thing. But I've tried it before and I learned something about myself. I do understand that forgiveness is forgiveness. I will not bring it up. But I also learned that when you cheat, I'm gone. Because I will bring it up. So I made this own personal rule in my head. If I'm going to forgive you, I cannot keep bringing that up and holding it over your head. If you put in the work and we're working on this and I'm still wondering why you turn your phone over, I don't need to be with you no more. I'm tainted. This is just a waste of time. This is just what I've learned through the relationships that I've had. But in saying that, at the same time, I understand someone wanting to forgive and someone forgiving and moving forward. But
That's
I'm
possible.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's definitely possible.
Yeah.
But I don't see
Like,
myself
wholly
doing that for a
possible.
boyfriend. I
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah.
Not
But
for a
also-
boyfriend.
If it's just the physical, I could
yeah, like
forgive
what
that.
would yeah.
I could forgive that. It's the emotional that
Yes.
gets me. Can
So,
I have
yeah.
us do something else real quick with these boards? Okay. As detailed and honest as possible, because the pool house is an open and safe space for women, for people, but we only have women in here, so women. So write down what you would be okay with doing with another man while you're in a relationship. So like, where's your boundary? Where's your line drawn for yourself? Of like, babe, I did this. I'm so sorry. It was wrong. You know what I
So
mean?
before
Wait.
that-
Before
Right.
that,
That changed it.
Yeah.
before that
Okay.
point. What's okay, and then what's not.
So
Maybe
what,
write.
you're asking what is
Okay.
okay.
Write what's up until what is okay, and then maybe write like what isn't okay.
Okay.
How about that? Does that make
Yes.
sense? Okay.
I hope I answered this right because you totally confused me.
Sorry.
So what I thought you were saying is, well, first, what would you tell your man? So I would like tell him like, babe, I get my number today, or I got this dude's number.
You
Like,
would tell
I would
him.
tell him that.
Would you feel guilty about it?
Yeah. But the other one, I feel like
Crosses the line.
Yeah, it's like sex.
So you're okay with the number stuff, like that's your line though. You're kind of crossing the line. A little
Yeah, a little bit.
bit. A little bit. Just
Yeah.
the tip.
Yes.
So for me, with the phone number thing, that actually is one of my no's. If I'm dating someone, I don't give a guy my number, just period. Like if he's been a friend in the past and I built rapport with him and he's met my guy, then my guy shouldn't have an issue with that. So like I wrote mutual. I wrote texting without deleting, and I wrote hang out for a few hours with a mutual friend, someone who my dude has met.
Wait. Texting without deleting?
Yeah, you can't be deleting your text messages with this guy. Whoever the
Oh,
guy
you.
is.
You're keeping it a secret.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right.
Got
Yeah.
it. So if you
So I can
text and
talk
you
to him.
delete it, then that's crossing the line
That's
for you.
crossing the line.
Okay, and then the other one, hanging out with mutual friends. That's fine?
Like, it can be my friend first, but he has to have met my guy before I hang out with him in private. He doesn't have to hang out with me while
I
I'm
see.
with my guy, but he has to know this person.
Crossing the line to me, for me, if I'm in a relationship and I do this with another man, it's crossing the line. Talking to that man about my relationship.
Like complaining.
Complaining.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that is crossing.
Okay.
And also telling him, the new guy, things that I haven't told my man.
That's a good
About
one.
myself or
Yeah.
my life or anything. What's okay is having a male friend and someone to hang out with and like confide in, but not about your relationship and not in that way.
So I just did what I think is okay. I'm fine with if I have a couple of guy friends texting, if we got dinner, hanging out. But one rule that my husband and I made together is he just wants it to be in mixed company. He doesn't want it to be like one-on-one, me hanging with a guy, unless it's like a work thing. It just makes him a little uncomfortable. He's like, I just want other people there. And so I respect that. It makes him uncomfortable. I would want him to respect it if it made me uncomfortable. So that's what I follow.
That's fair.
Yeah.
So what's crossing the line?
Crossing the line, not to jump off of what you said, but I think that keeping it, or deleting text, first of all, I think that's
big.
That's, I think, kind of disloyal or
Yeah.
a little sneaky. And then confiding in a guy about your relationship or about things you won't tell your husband about or telling him secrets or really private information, I think is inappropriate.
So I did understand the question a little bit different.
Yeah, I think I
First
did.
time I thought it was
Different
what you feel like is okay to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, just being friends. Like if you have a guy and he's just your friend, that's fine. And then I put crossing line would be anything physical.
That's it?
You kiss
Yeah.
him. You know, you have sex with him. Somebody put sex.
I did.
Yeah, physical. Because I mean, look, at the end of the day, we find women. I don't know. I feel women find joy out of acknowledgement, appreciation, follow up. We find joys in a lot of little small things. So, but a guy could see that as cheating. We don't see that as cheating. It's just kind of like, oh, he appreciated me giving him a card. Something small. But another guy might be like, you gave him a card? You know, so it just depends. But I feel like, so we can have a lot of little things that make us feel good, but it's not we're cheating. But if we get physical, as women, we're cheating. That's our cheat.
Remember when Jared was here? He was talking about how some women are fine with their man being
Yeah.
like going to strip clubs or cheating or
Yeah.
whatever, as long as they got that security of like they have that home, they have
Yeah.
that place they can go to.
no.
You're building
I'm
your
not,
life
no.
with.
No.
I'm not that cool.
I'd rather my
Yeah.
man go to the strip club.
I mean, I'm scared to go to the strip club.
Yeah.
You can take me with you.
Yes, please take me. But no, I'm okay with him going to the strip club. Because if that's the cheating level you want to be on, cool. Because if you get got by a stripper, you just dumb.
At a stripper, some
They
lines
be
are
shaking
crossed.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's a
but
difference though between
keep it in the
cheating.
club. That's fine.
There's a difference though between
strap it
cheating
up.
and respect. Like I wouldn't think
Yes.
if my husband went to a strip club that he was cheating on me, I would feel really disrespected.
Really?
Like I don't care if he watches porn, but if he goes to a strip club, it would really bother me. Like I'm
You
not
don't think
that cool
it's
of a
the same?
wife.
It's so
It's
funny
the
when she
same.
said the strip club. I thought about porn.
Yeah, I don't know. That's different because there's a screen there. They're not like there's not a real woman
She
standing
doesn't
there.
know
Like it's
that
different,
he's watching that.
right? Like
when
it's
it's on
different for
porn.
me.
She's putting that out there like anybody can watch. You can
So
watch this.
that
Right.
means
Yeah,
that
it's
porn to you is not,
not
cheating.
cheating.
No, no.
No.
Because
Yeah,
some people
see,
feel
who
like porn
Considers
is
that
cheating.
cheating?
I don't.
That's
I don't
so
either.
not
But, like,
realistic.
I don't mind him watching
I don't either.
porn, but I feel like if it gets too excessive, then you're cheating.
Like I walk
you
in,
serious?
like has
Yes.
happened to me before.
Yeah, we're
Yes.
talking about it
I
like
Webcam
we,
is different though.
we
They-
own
It's like
That's
I
different.
just
That's
left
way
the
different.
house.
Yeah. Can
You
I just
couldn't
say
just
some-
holla real
You know
quick?
why it's cheating?
Why?
I'm telling you why it's cheating because he's jacking off, and he's
If
not
you're
saving
jacking off,
it.
yes.
Yes. He's not,
She's all.
he's not saving it for me. So I'm just
Are you
saying,
trying to have another
right,
Zoe?
It's just
Another baby or something?
another
Like,
baby. But it's just like I feel like that's cheating.
So next time on Full House.
Okay, so we're speaking of hypotheticals, but I've been through this. So I did blame the other woman because their text messages, she knew that he was in a relationship with
Was
me.
he with-
Every time I was irritated, I was calling her.
what?
Like
What?
y'all had
What?
conversation. Was she consoling?
I don't
Like,
understand.
I'm so confused.
I
right
don't
now.
understand.
I'm
Listen,
sorry.
I know you're cheating on me with my man.
Right.
We understand that cheating happens and has happened since the beginning of time and will continue to happen
Since the beginning.
until the end of time.
Right.
Just like murdering will
Right.
happen.
It's the same.
I don't know why you compare the two.
They are different.
No, they're different.
They're both wrong.
Do you know if you
A sin
compare?
is a sin.
They
Right.
are, but if you compare the number of murders that happen here versus the number
Let's
of
not get into the
just
semantics.
saying.
So is it different when you're cheating on your pregnant wife? Like, no, it's the same.
Yeah.
I don't want to open that up because I feel my own thing. Keep going.
Okay. So,
But really quick.
no.
So if you were with a
expected more.
celebrity and
ma'am.
he cheated, you would have the same
Yeah.
rules.
I got the same energy.
I mean, every couple has their own set of rules.
Yeah.
There
They
are some
do.
couples that are, I think there are very few, but there are some couples that are perfectly fine with straying under certain circumstances.
Right.
You
I think
can't
most
tell
people
me-
are not that mature.
If I got into a relationship with an NFL player today, I would be like, I would come at the relationship from a different place than I would with Bob from
Ditto.
Food for Less.
For
Then
sure.
it's-
With Bob from Food for Less, I'm gonna be like, yo, like we can't cheat on each other. We got strict
Right.
boundaries here.
I'm
Bob,
not gonna be
Bob,
cheated on
you
with
ain't
the
gonna
bagger.
cheat on me with exactly the cute chick right there.
But so for you,
be.
fidelity is dependent upon how accessible it is to the person you're dating.
That's what it sounds like.
necessarily.
It sounds,
Yeah,
it sounds
that's
like
what it
that.
sounds like that.
If it's more accessible to one person, you're a little more lenient.